She had everything: beauty, charm, even success. But one thing destroyed her life, and if you're making these same mistakes, it'll destroy yours too. Here's how to spot them before it's too late. Stoicism isn't about judging people. It's about seeing reality clearly, so you don't fall into the same traps. Most women and men never realize they're acting foolishly until it costs them everything: their relationships, their peace, even their self-respect. The ancient Stoics didn't care about stupidity as an insult. They cared about wisdom, because wisdom is the difference between a life of suffering and a life of strength. Today we're breaking down the 6 biggest signs of a foolish woman, not to shame anyone, but to help you recognize these patterns in yourself or others, and fix them before they ruin you. Most people think stupid means lack of intelligence, but the Stoics knew better. A foolish woman isn't just someone who isn't smart. She's someone who lives against nature, against reason. She makes choices that create chaos, pain, and regret. And worst of all, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. You could have a high IQ and still be foolish. You could be book smart but life dumb. The real tragedy? Many women never learn. They keep repeating the same mistakes, blaming others, and wondering why their lives feel so hard. But Stoicism gives us a way out. By spotting these 6 signs early, you can change course before you lose what matters most. 1. She lets emotions control her. Emotions are storms, powerful, unpredictable, and capable of wrecking everything in their path if left unchecked. The foolish woman doesn't just get caught in the storm, she becomes the storm. Anger hits and she erupts. Jealousy creeps in and she spirals. Heartbreak shatters her and she lets the shards cut everyone around her. She texts in rage, argues in passion, and makes decisions in despair, then wonders why her life feels like a ship tossed in a hurricane. The Stoics didn't say emotions were wrong. They warned that emotions in the driver's seat always crash the car. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire yet faced betrayal and war, wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The wise woman knows this. She feels the storm just as fiercely: love, fury, grief. But she doesn't let the weather dictate her course. When hurt, she doesn't burn bridges. She steps back, lets the fire cool, and decides whether rebuilding or walking away serves her dignity. When disrespected, she doesn't scream. She observes, reflects, and acts, not out of impulse, but out of principle. The difference isn't that one feels and the other doesn't. It's that one is ruled by emotion and the other rules it. 2. She blames everyone else for her problems. Life happens, pain comes, but the foolish woman turns every stumble into a conspiracy. Her failed relationship, men are trash, her dead-end job, the system is rigged, her loneliness, no one understands me. She carries a mental ledger of every wrong ever done to her, but never checks the column where her own choices weigh in. The Stoics call this the slavery of externals, the delusion that happiness depends on others behaving perfectly. Epictetus, born a slave and crippled by his master, still taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." The wise woman lives this. She knows blame is a seductive poison. It tastes sweet at first, but it paralyzes. So when life knocks her down, she doesn't waste breath cursing the ground. She studies why she fell. A breakup isn't just his betrayal, but a lesson in her own boundaries. A career stall isn't just their unfairness, but a signal to grow sharper. This isn't self-blame, it's self-ownership. The foolish woman stays stuck because blaming others lets her off the hook. The wise woman moves forward because she knows the hook was hers all along. 3. She needs constant validation. Her mirror isn't the one on her wall, it's the eyes of everyone around her. The foolish woman doesn't just want love, she needs proof of it. She morphs herself to fit whoever's nearby, laughing too loud at jokes she doesn't find funny, nodding at opinions she doesn't share, shrinking or inflating herself based on the room's temperature. Social media becomes her addiction, likes her oxygen. A man's attention isn't just nice, it's her lifeline. The Stoics saw this coming 2,000 years ago. Seneca warned, "What's the point of having applause follow you if your own conscience condemns you. The wise woman doesn't live reflected in others' eyes. She plants her feet on the solid ground of self-knowledge. She doesn't need 10 compliments to offset one critique. She doesn't chase trends to prove she's enough. If she's alone, she's whole. If she's ignored, she's unshaken. This isn't arrogance. It's the quiet confidence of someone who's met herself deeply and decided she's worth keeping company with. The foolish woman begs the world to tell her she matters. The wise woman already knows. 4. She loves drama. Chaos isn't just around her, it's in her. The foolish woman doesn't have conversations. She has confrontations. She doesn't observe life. She fuels it. With gossip, with overreactions, with, "Can you believe what they did?" Whispers that turn molehills into mountains. Social media isn't a tool. It's a battleground where she fights invisible wars over comments and likes. The Stoics called this the sickness of distraction, using drama to avoid the hard work of self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled during plagues and wars, still wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." The wise woman walks away, not because she's weak, but because her peace is too valuable to trade for temporary excitement. She lets petty insults fade. She blocks instead of argues. She knows that feeding anger is like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the thirstier you become. The foolish woman thinks drama makes her important. The wise woman knows silence makes her powerful. 5. She confuses luxury for happiness. Her happiness lives in the next purchase, the next vacation, the next thing, always just out of reach. The foolish woman wears her credit card debt like a badge of honor, chasing designer labels and Instagram backdrops that scream, "Look how well I'm doing," while her soul whispers, "Is this it?" She mistakes abundance for fulfillment, mistaking the glow of newness for real light. Seneca, one of Rome's wealthiest men, saw through this. It's not the man who has too little who's poor, but the one who always wants more. The wise woman isn't fooled. She enjoys nice things, but she isn't owned by them. Her joy comes from what can't be bought, a sunrise run, an old book's wisdom, the kind of laughter that leaves her ribs sore. She practices what the Stoics called voluntary hardship, taking the plainer meal, wearing the simpler outfit, not to punish herself, but to remember that her happiness was never in the packaging. The foolish woman thinks money is the key to the life she wants. The wise woman knows it's just one tool, and a dull one, if the hand holding it hasn't learned what truly matters. 6. She never learns from her mistakes. Her life is a record stuck on repeat. Same mistakes, different verses. The foolish woman dates the same type of toxic man in different bodies, loans money to the same deadbeat friend with new excuses, jumps from diet to diet but never changes her habits. She calls it bad luck when it's really refusal to look in the mirror. The Stoics had a brutal term for this, the madness of repetition, expecting different results while doing nothing differently. Epictetus put it plainly, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." The wise woman embraces this. She studies her failures like textbooks. She asks, "What did this teach me?" before, "Why did this happen to me?" When a pattern emerges, she doesn't justify it, she breaks it. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. The foolish woman trips over the same rock twice and curses the ground. The wise woman moves the rock or learns to step higher. The line between wisdom and foolishness isn't intelligence, it's awareness. The Stoics didn't judge people as good or bad. They asked, are you living in harmony with reason? Or are you creating your own suffering? If you saw yourself in any of these signs, good. That's the first step. Now you can change. Stoicism isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't have to be the woman who never feels anger, never makes mistakes, never struggles. You just have to be the woman who learns, grows, and takes responsibility for her life. That's how foolishness turns into wisdom. If this helped, hit subscribe. One video won't change your life, but a lifetime of wisdom will.